I'm a living witness that challenges create champions. And life is about rising to the occasion and overcoming every challenge that's in your path. Today, let's talk about pivot to purpose, how to move from complacence to excellence. Oh, you know what's up? Turn me up. I'm mic'd up. Join me and let's mix it up. What's good people? How you doing? How you living? How's it going? What's happening? I hope that you are doing well. Well, I want to welcome you to another edition of In the Mix. I'm your host with the most, yours truly, Dr. Eddie Connor, and it is an honor that you have joined me today. Yes, we're going to have a courageous conversation of illumination like we always do, but I need you to hit that thumbs up button on this video. Come on, hit that thumbs up button on this video. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. I'm growing your greatness. I'm going to grow our channel for change, our channel that creates change, our channel that breaks chains. And today, like we always do at this time, drop some light bulb emojis in the chat. As a matter of fact, come on, drop some light bulb emojis in the chat. It signifies that we're going to light it up. We're going to turn it all the way up. We're going to flip the switch. We too lit to quit. We're going to stay lit. Why? Because we are the light of the world. And today we're going to spotlight and highlight a particular topic entitled Pivot to Prosper, how to move from complacence to excellence. And what I realize is that one of the things that really brings us to a particular place is that you will always be replaced if you're complacent. If you are complacent, you will always be replaced. Whether that is in your job, whether that's in a relationship, whether that even is in a marriage, whether that speaks to a business partner, business proposal, what have you. Complacency will get you replaced. And I believe what we're dealing with right now is a complacency epidemic. People are resting on their laurels. The drive, the stick-to-itiveness, the ingenuity, the inspiration, the go-get-it attitude to say no holds barred. I'm going to be relentless by any means necessary. To a degree is missing, is lacking, is not what it used to be. It's not the sum total of what became the makeup of us. We've just gotten too comfortable to where in many cases we don't want to stir up the equilibrium. We don't want to stir up the pot. We just want everything to be given to us. Attitude seems to be lackluster. The drive and the passion and the ingenuity is lackluster. So much so that here's the thing. When we hit a challenge, when we hit a bump in the road, when we face a roadblock, we don't try to overcome that. We turn back around. We turn back around. We say, well, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I'm not cut out for it. Maybe it's not an opportunity. Maybe it's not the job for me. Maybe it's not the situation for me. I don't think, it's fitting my vibe right now. Situation isn't really what I thought it was going to be. No, because you thought it was going to be easier. You didn't think you were going to have to actually put forth a concerted effort And if there is a denial, if there is a pushback, if there is that no, you got to not see rejection as, you got to see rejection as redirection. You got to see as you got to see rejections for your protection. It goes to that particular place. How bad do you want it? Family, just type pivot, type pivot, type pivot. If you're going to prosper, you have to learn how to pivot. You have to have a level of adaptability and flexibility. I remember those young days of playing basketball and watching the game a lot. The NBA game, that is. Don't watch it too much, if at all, now. The level of play is not what it used to be. I'll get back to that later. But they had something called the pivot foot. And you would get the ball, you pick up if you pick up your dribble, whatever the case may be, you cannot put the ball back down to dribble again. That's called a double dribble, travel, what have you, whatever the case may be. But you'd receive the ball, you get the ball, and you can pivot. You could turn any particular type of way, but you can't take both feet off the ground, or it is a travel, or he walked with the ball. But you had as much dexterity to spin, to turn, to twist, whatever the case may be. You had free will on that pivot foot, whatever pivot foot that is, whether it's your left foot or your right foot. You got to make sure that pivot foot remains on the ground, though. It cannot be picked up. And for many of us, we have a way to be able to pivot because we're multi-gifted, we're multi-talented. We can do a whole lot of things in a whole varied aspect. And we're gifted for greatness to be able to do multiple things in a way of excellence that most people cannot do. But rather than pivot, we throw a pity party. Rather than pivot, we punk ourselves out of what it is that God wants us to step into and what he wants us to live in. We don't see the trajectory. We don't see the signs. We're not gauging where life is going. So what do? Rather than being a trendsetter and a trailblazer and a mover and a shaker, you become a follower. When you know that leadership ability is on the inside of you and you need to cultivate that leadership ability, you need to cultivate that particular skill so that you can be your best, so that you can pivot, so that you don't have to just do one particular thing and be just good at one particular thing. But no, you are multifaceted, you're multi-talented, you're multi-gifted. And so as a result of being multi-talented, multifaceted, multi-gifted, here's what the onus is on you: to multiply. That's the onus on you. The onus is to multiply. And hear me, multiplying is not going to just be peaches and cream. Multiplying is going to sometimes face some setbacks with some subtractions. Multiplying is going to face some disruptions with division. But will you still have stick-to-itiveness simply because you have adopted the God-ordained vision for your life? And come hell or high water, come storm, rain, trials, and pain, you're going to go after it by any means necessary. Family, just type go after it. Type go after it. Go after it. Why? Because challenges create champions. That's what happens. That's what it does. That's where it moves you to. Challenges create champions. You want to be a champion, you got to go through some challenges. You got to face some adversity. You got to face some stumbling blocks. You got to be betrayed and talked about and all these specific things. A lot of times you have to go through those things to get to where it is that you need to be at. Because here's what it does. It builds up your endurance muscles. And for many of us, our faith muscles have atrophied. You have no endurance. Endurance says, listen, you will win if you don't quit. Yeah. Galatians 6:9. Be not weary in well doing, for in due season you will reap if you faint not. Endure has the word end in it. And until you can get to the end, to endure, to overcome, to shift from where it is that you are to where you can be, you will continue to repeat the same cycle and situations over and over again. You'll be like the children of Israel, wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, when here it is, the promised land was only a 3-day journey. Got to keep repeating the same thing. Got to keep repeating the same cycle. Got to keep going over the same mountain. Got to keep going around the same mountain. Got to keep doing the same old thing simply because you have not renewed your mind. You refuse to pivot. You refuse to do something different to get something different. Come on, the world's not going to remain the same. Why are you? Situations are changing. Seasons are changing. Are you shifting? With strategy, structure, solutions, and systems to take your vision to another dimension. Are you ready to grow? That's the question. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to grow? I know you're ready to go to another level, but are you ready to grow to another level? Because before you ever go to another level, you're going to have to grow into that particular level of what it is that you aspire to be on. What will you do? Because here's what I understand. If you are really intent on growing, you need to make sure that you join my Eagles Academy. Whenever I have my apparel on its own, go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. I'm really talking not just to the curious, I'm talking to the serious right now. Those of you who are serious enough to say, listen, I need to grow this year. I need to be in an environment. I need to be in a community that is going to foster my development and foster my growth so that I can discover, I can develop, and I can deploy my gifts into the next level, into the next dimension, to my greatness. If that's you, you know greatness is calling you. You know there's something bigger and better and brighter for you to do. You know you need the coaching, the teaching, the training, the mentoring of what it is that I give you that is going to shift you to another level, to another trajectory, and open new doors of opportunity. Go right now, again, theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. Talking about how to move from complacence to excellence. And hear me, before it ever moves into a place of excellence, it first has to be fostered in your mindset. That I'm not doing things haphazardly. I'm not going along just to get along. Come on, everything has to be in excellence. From your cadence and your rhythm of how it is with your intonation and with your articulation, it's got to be in excellence. How you speak to people on the phone, it's got to be in excellence. How you dress, it's got to be in excellence. How you show up, it's got to be in excellence. Remember going to a church in my younger years, and it had, I believe it was downstairs, somewhere, but I remember they had this sign, seeing it as a kid, and it said, excellence or nothing at all. That's the motto. That's got to be the mindset. It didn't mean nothing to me then. Oh, but it sure does mean everything to me now. Excellence and nothing at all. Is no way, is no in between right there. There's no middleman. There's no middle ground. There's no gray area. There's no lukewarm, tepid temperature. It's either excellence and nothing at all, y'all. Excellence in my prayer life, excellence in my mindset, excellence in how I treat other people, excellence in how I think, excellence with the thoughts that I think, excellence with the actions that I make and take. It's got to be excellence. That's what moves us out of a place of complacence, because a lot of times we get complacent in the home environment where we live in. You just come home, you just throw your clothes in your Tupperware. You still have those same clothes sitting in the dryer from the last 2 weeks and you haven't folded them up. Come on. Come on. Who am I talking to? I hope it's you. I know it's you. Come on, complacence. How you do anything is how you do everything. It bleeds and it leads in the church. Well, the leader's doing this, the leader's doing that. What are you doing to undergird the under shepherd? What are you doing as a secondary leader to make everyone feel like it's a first class experience? Whether it's at the church, whether it's at the community center, whether it's at your job, whether it's your school, whether it's at your organization, whether it's your fraternity, whether it's your sorority. What are you doing to seize the opportunity and pivoting to prospering? We got more in store for you. Don't touch that dial. I want you to smile. Stick and stay. More is coming your way after these messages. I'll be right back. You know, I realize the extent of your development is connected to the extent of your investment. What I mean, invest little, develop little. But we're investing much into you as you invest in yourself by developing your purpose, developing your goals and your dreams and your ideals and your ideas, shifting you from ideas to income. Where does this all happen at? I'm so glad you asked. It takes place in our Eagles Academy. All you have to do is go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed to shift your ideas into income, your contacts into contracts, really to grow your ideas, your impact, and your influence. You owe it to you to invest in you. And as a result of it, now you are able to be coached and mentored and be a part of our live trainings with yours truly, with me, along with a host of other leaders and trendsetters and trailblazers and accountability partners. No one grows in a silo. The power of mentorship, it takes what I've learned in years and months and I give it to you in minutes. What I've learned in decades and I can give it to you in days. To be a part of our private Facebook group, to get guided feedback through our Eagle's Nest reflections, to get access to all of the content, all the live sessions and the trainings of business development, of financial stewardship, of the impact and empowerment that only takes place when you go right now to theeaglesacademy.com. Again, when you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. But it doesn't just stop there. You want to develop your book? Then guess what? You are an aspiring author. You need to get my bestseller book, Blueprint. It's available right now, accessidentity.org/author. All of the insight of what it is that I have used to write 18 books and be a best-selling author, you owe it to you to get your hands on that. You also owe it to you to get my Successful Speaker Strategies download. I'm telling you, whatever you're building, you can build it better if you use better words. Let me show you how to develop your communication. There's an art to communication. Let me show you how to develop that. Go right now as well to accessidentity.org/speaker. And then I am blessed to pastor the Remnant Worshipers Church. I want you to be a part of the church that I am pastoring at right now. Is such a great thing of what it is that God has fashioned us to do. And it's taking place right here in the city of Detroit, 10 a.m. every Sunday, 6 p.m. we have prayer on Tuesdays, and then 7 p.m. on those same Tuesdays, we have TNT Tuesdays, Truth and Transformation. It's amazing. You want to be a part of it. Go right now, trwchurch.org. And then I want to see your face in the place this Sunday at 20470 Hubble Street. I'm doing my best to save you a seat. Powerful prayer, praise, and a preach word. Can't wait to see your face in place at the Remnant Worshipers Church. Yes, y'all, and we don't stop. Family, I need you to heed to these resources that you've heard. Let's get back to the word. We're talking about pivot to prosper. How to move from complacence to excellence. And I need you to hear me. Shifting from complacence to excellence is not an overnight thing. It's not a snap your finger, do your step. You could do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. It ain't one of them things. It's not some, you woke up like this. You woke up like this. It ain't none of that. It is a slow, steady process for progress. That's what it is. into a place of maturational development. That's what it boils down to. That's what it's about. Am I in a particular place of maturational development to say, yeah, I want the prosperity, but what am I doing to pivot? What am I doing to think different, to get different, to experience different? Come on, for the next level where you want to go, you know you can't think the same thoughts that you used to think a couple of weeks ago. You know you can't think those same thoughts that you were thinking last year. Junk in, junk out. Negativity in, negativity out. But positivity in, positivity out. What are you going to do to jump start your future by pivoting in order to start prospering? Because as I said before, how you do anything is going to be how you do everything. It's going to be the way it is. I was talking to a brother at the barbershop, a brother pastor, actually. And he was mentioning that he was, as he called himself, an M&M. I said, huh? He's like, yeah, I'm a medical miracle. That's what he called himself. He called himself a medical miracle. And he faced so much adversity. Yes, in the hospital sector, but even trying to hold down a job. Turned away many particular times simply because he didn't have the money, didn't have the pedigree, didn't have the ingenuity, didn't have the degree. But here's what he had. He had the work ethic. That work ethic, even though he wasn't the greatest reader, as he mentioned, that work ethic that he had took him to the top area, the C-suite executives and brass members, working for particular Ford companies, working for particular automotive companies. He was able to press through the storm, the rain, the trial, and the pain, and overcome the obstacles of what it is that he experienced. That's what it really boils down to. Overcoming those particular obstacles to say, yeah, because I am a medical miracle, because I have overcome specific odds and obstacles and situations and stumbling blocks in my life, I can push past these limitations. I can encourage myself. That's what David said. David said, listen, I'm going to encourage myself in the Lord. I'm going to take my mindset from where it is that I am to where I can be. I'm going to move past my own particular parameters and all the reasons why it won't work and the stinking thinking that keeps me soaking and sinking and the scarcity mindset. To not let anything offset me. And when you've been through adversity and you see other people go through adversity as well, you don't just sit on the sidelines, you engage on the front lines. When you think about living in times in the wake of a myriad of wildfires that affected California. And yeah, of course, when it's upheaval in particular areas of this particular country, these yet to be United States of America, much less the greater part of the world, yeah, everybody's going to say, hey, I'm praying for you. And that's well and good in the initial interim. But after a while, we have to realize that we are called to do more than just send up prayers of intercession. We are commissioned for intervention. We are commissioned and developed for deployment for intervention. When you think about those California wildfires ravaging Los Angeles County, think about more than 150,000 people had to evacuate, were displaced, lost their homes. Seeing many individuals, celebrities, those who are just regular Joes, Pookies and Ray Rays, Sally Sues, whatever the case may be, They lost their homes. They lost those memories and all the precious elements of what made their house a home. And looking at all that, my heart went out to them. Knowing that as a pastor now of the Remnant Worshipers Ministry in the city of Detroit, I'm in a prime position to where I am able to serve. I'm able to think critically and creatively to say, what can I do to meet the needs of the people, not just in the greater aspect of my area and my arena and my environment and my community, but even the larger aspect of society. And do you know what was rather interesting? Because our church is in Detroit, the Remnant Worshipers Ministry in the city of Detroit. If you haven't visited us, I encourage you to visit us. Visit us this Sunday, 10 o'clock a.m. 20470 Hubble Street in the city of Detroit is where I'm saving you a seat. Yes. Church of Lives worth the fly the drive. Tell somebody, bring somebody. And yes, as I said before, our church is in Detroit, but my heart is in Los Angeles. Heart is in LA. And as we have done so much work in the city of Detroit, especially since I have taken the helm of being the pastor of the Remnant Worshipers Ministry in the city of Detroit over the last 4 months, we've fed and served 15,056 people and counting. Yeah. 15,000 plus individuals. We've done that. We put in that type of work. And something kept gnawing at me and nudging me and said, in the midst of, feeding and serving 15,000 plus people in 4 months, establishing community partnerships, connecting with schools, local organizations, exponentially increasing our membership, so much and so forth. The favor of God has definitely been on our church, coupled with intentional strategy. And I said, with all of the issues of these wildfires going on, I said, we got to do something. Called some of our members, those who are in our leadership positions, and wanted to just get their ideas on some things, letting them know what was swirling in my mind. We really are beholden to Matthew chapter 25 and 35. Jesus said, when I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was naked, did you clothe me? When I was thirsty, did you give me drink? When I was in prison, did you visit me? If you did it to the least of these, you did it unto me. That's our mission. That's our motto. That's our mindset. To be the hands, the heart, and the head of Jesus. To be the hands, the heart, and the feet of Jesus. Amplifying Matthew 25:35. And so I decided to call up to that local organization, let them know, listen, what ways can we partner? Letting them know, hey, I'm the pastor of a church. It's not a mega ministry yet, but you don't need a mega ministry to make a mega impact. You don't need a mega ministry to make a mega impact. That's another M&M. Mega ministry. Like I told you, the other end was medical miracle. But you don't need one to make a mega impact. You just need a mega heart. And I was talking to the gentleman over at the LA Food Bank, was doing my inductive study because, there's a lot of hesitancy and those who are reticent to donate because we don't even know if the money gets to the places that it needs to get to, or if somebody's siphoning it, stealing it, pocketing it. The list goes on and on. So I did my due diligence, did my inductive study, and see, hey, you know what? Yep, they're really, really, really legit. And we decided to partner with them to say, hey, we want to extend our helping hands with monetary donations. May not be able to get there physically, but we can do something virtually. We could do something to where we can donate so that now those who have been displaced get fresh meals, those who are our wildfire survivors, those displaced families, those first responders throughout Southern California. Our donations, our dollars can help to put out the fires of food insecurity. And you can still help us to do that. lafoodbank.org. lafoodbank.org. People are still in disarray. Despite what the news coverage is, despite news coverage, it moves on because, if it leads, it bleeds. And if it's not bleeding anymore, hey, they're leading to a different direction. I get it. And so just because we don't necessarily see it as much in the news cycle as we used to, does not mean that the issues are not still prevalent. Right? And so that's why it's so important to have a good team that is around you that can say, let me make this call here. Let me plug you into this over here. Let me think about this particular aspect and circle back to you in XYZ. Because they understand that. They understand the mantle. They understand the anointing. They understand the vision. And it's bigger than me. It's about empowering people to overcome and strive and develop who it is that they are and their opportunities. I was talking to the gentleman over at LA Food Bank. I said, you know what? Just want to just be of service. Whatever we can do, we just want to be of service. Just happen to say, hey, I'm sure you get an influx of calls, this, that, and the other. I'm sure, it's probably a whole bunch of people outside of the state helping. I said, hey, how many churches outside the state? Outside the state of California are calling to help or donate. He said, you're the only one. He said, you're the first one. And this was days after those horrific wildfires touched down. There's no aspersions to anybody else. There's not excoriating anybody, any other church or what have you. We're just trying to do what we can do. But it is a clarion call for us to couple intercession with intervention. To say, what can I do to pivot? What problem is out there that I know that I can solve because God gave me the blueprint and he blessed me to be a blessing? It may not be fighting food insecurity. It may be mentorship. It may be serving at your local church. But what can you specifically do to empower the sphere of influence and the circle of individuals in the neighborhood and the environment of those who surround you? It's got to be love. It's got to be peace. It's got to be increase to take our mindset to another dimension. Family, just type prosper. Type prosper. I'm speaking over your life right now that you're going to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Your money is going to prosper. Your finances are going to prosper. Your relationships are going to prosper. Your marriage is going to prosper. Your children are going to prosper. Whatever you put your hand to, it's going to prosper. As long as you're abiding. John chapter 15, 7 said, if you abide in me, Jesus said, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, you'll be able to ask for whatever it is that you want, and I'll be able to do it for you. There's no asking without abiding. Abiding says, I'm going to be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth fruit in its season. His leaf shall not wither. And whatsoever he doeth, I love it right here. This, you just don't miss your shout. Don't miss your shout. Whatever you do, it shall prosper. When you make the call across the country, it's going to prosper. When you're looking for the opportunities and the open doors, prosperity just hits your door. Prosperity is on you. It's within you. You got to do what God has called you to do. Family, I want you to sow into the word that you heard. Is not a debt that you owe, it is a seed that you sow. I want you to sow into your season of prosperity. I want you to sow into your time of prosperity. I want you to sow into your year to cheer, your day to convey, your minute to win it, your moment to own it, your time to shine. Sow into your year of prosperity. You can't help but to be prosperous as you're giving, as you're sowing, as you're developing, as you're helping other people get to where that you've already possibly have already been. I want you to sow your seed, and as you're sowing your seed, I want you to name your seed. I don't know what you're naming your seed, but I want you to sow your seed. Maybe you're naming it health. Maybe you're naming it prosperity. Maybe you're naming it healing. Maybe you're naming it pivoting. Maybe you're naming it not being complacent. I'm not going to keep sitting on my hands. I'm going to do what it is that God told me to do. I'm going to move out of complacence so that I can move into a place of excellence. I'm not going to keep talking myself out of what God wants me to live into, abide into, step into. Information is on the screen, links in the chat, links in the description of this video for how and where to give. Cash App, $ Dr. Eddie Ministries, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com. We've been having a super conversation. Drop a super chat, drop a super sticker, drop a super thanks. Super thanks to you for tuning in, for engaging. Again, Cash App, $ Dr. Eddie Ministries, Dr. Eddie Ministries, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com. Drop a super chat, drop a super sticker. Super thanks, and I'm giving a super thanks to you as well for your love, your loyalty, and your support. Your dollars, your donations help us to expand this broadcast to communities and cities, neighborhoods and nations, locally, nationally, and globally. You may not necessarily go there physically, but you can help us to go there virtually, physically, however and wherever the case may be. Definitely appreciate you. Conversation like this one right here is why you need to become a member of In the Mix. If you're not a member of In the Mix, tap the link in the chat. Link is in the description of this video. Click that link. There's 3 options there: VIP, Royalty, OQP. Choose one of those 3. My gift to you is to give you access to our In the Mix membership area. Membership has its privileges. Membership has its privileges. And so click that link to choose one of those particular 3 options. You're going to unlock the unlimited. Going to give you access and all access pass to behind the scenes footage, coverage, content, information of what it is that I share that I don't share anywhere else except in my members area with those particular topics. So go ahead, become a member right now. Do that. I want to welcome you into the family of In the Mix. Sincere salute to all of you. Yes, I see you. I see you. Sincere salute to all of you who have a digital decal. That's it. Got a nice little badge there, and that lets me know that you are a member of In the Mix, and so I'm appreciative of your partnership. Thanks so much. If you're not a member of the Eagles Academy, come on. You know, when I got my gear on, it's on. We getting ready to take flight tonight. Got an amazing session in our class tonight, and you need to be a part of it. If you're really serious about your growth, you're really serious about developing your leadership ability, if you're really serious about your emotional intelligence and developing that and growing in your relationships and your financial standing and your ideas and your impact and your influence, and really developing strategies, solutions, and systems to take your vision to another dimension, say less. Go right now to theeaglesacademy.com. Be a part of my amazing teachings, coachings, trainings, mentorship sessions. Yeah, be a part of it. Connect with our amazing team of gifted leaders, accountability partners. Get an all access pass to our private Facebook group. Get an all access pass to all of our content, past and present teachings, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lessons are at your disposal. You're going to grow in every specific area of your life. Go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form, and I guarantee you're going to be transformed. I want to see your face in our digital space. Go right now. Family In the Mix is out of time. But trust me, I'm not out of truth. Were you transformed today? Was it a transformative conversation? I hope so. Let me know. Just type blessed if that's for show. In the Mix is out of time. Trust me, I'm not out of truth. And so I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I want to thank you for rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. And we roll together each and every single weekday, Monday through Friday, for In the Mix. And we mix it up right here on the YouTube side. Yes, we do. Mix it up right here on the YouTube side. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the like button. Like, comment, share. Share, share. Send this link to somebody. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button even right now. Sincere salute to all of you who are watching us on our social media satellite stations, sister satellite stations on social media. Just got a question for you. Are you my friend? Are we locked in? Then step this way, step that way. Which way? By friending me, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. We don't stop at EddieConnorJr. Family, put some respect on my name. EddieConnorJr. Y'all keep showing love. I'm going to keep showing up. Yeah. And I want you to show up this coming Sunday to the Remnant Worshipers Ministry. Is where I serve as the pastor of this amazing church, amazing congregation, loving congregation that's going to lift you and empower you, as I do too, through the powerful preach word, prayer, praise. Got to really connect with our worship experience. Word and worship is on point. It's going to be a real tremendous blessing to you. You owe it to you to join us. A Church Alive is worth the flight of the drive. You say, where do I go? I'm so glad that you asked. 20470 Hubble Street in the city of Detroit. I'm saving you a seat. I'm doing my best to save you a seat. We're growing. There's a grace for growth in our house. 20470 Hubble Street is where I'm saving you a seat. Yes, yes. Got some books out there that I know will be an amazing inspiration to you. Got 18 books out there. Available on Amazon, ebooks, audiobooks, hard copies. You can also get signed copies at my website, EddieConnor.com. Now, as you go to my website, I've got a myriad, a plethora of resources that are there for you. One of which is my bestseller book blueprint. Say that about 30 times. Say that about 3 times. My bestseller book blueprint. It's where I'm really showing you. I've got a whole manual of what I do from point A to point Z, of how I've become a best-selling author multiple times, how I've been able to connect books to speaking engagements and TV interviews. And, you write a book, people are going to want you to talk about it, but how do you get yourself out there? I talk about the marketing aspect as well of the book. You want to get that. This is your year to write the book, and I've got the manual just for you to help you to do that. I want to streamline your success. Go to EddieConnor.com to get my bestseller book blueprint. And not only that, I'm helping you to develop your communication. There is an art to communication. You want to get an ooh and an ah and an oh, wow. You want to be invited back. Yeah, I got a manual, Successful Speaker Strategies, a video tutorial that really takes you in depth with a lot of these successful speaker secrets that I use that are always a smash hit. I know it will be too when you employ it. I don't want to just keep stuff to myself. I don't want to just hoard it. I don't want to just keep it to myself and coddle it. No, I'm sharing it with you. So join me on the journey as I empower you. And that's on EddieConnor.com. Bestseller book blueprint, Successful Speaker Strategies as well. Yeah, go ahead and get those. Speaking of speaking, it's here to add me to your calendar. Come on, aren't you looking for a dynamic speaker? No need to look for another dynamic speaker. I'm the man for the job. Invite me to speak at your church, your conference, your community center, your school, your graduation, your session. Add me to your calendar. Let's make some progression. All you have to do is email me to invite me. info@EddieConnor.com. And it would be an honor for me to empower you. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand. Yo, brother. And I mean that from another mother. Family has been fun, but brother, got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy. Yes, it has been beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you, I'm talking to you now, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher. I realize the extent of your development is connected to the extent of your investment. What I mean, invest little, develop little. But we're investing much into you as you invest in yourself by developing your purpose, developing your goals and your dreams and your ideals and your ideas, shifting you from ideas to income. Where does this all happen at? I'm so glad you asked. It takes place in our Eagles Academy. All you have to do is go right now to theeaglesacademy.com, tap the Join Now button, fill out the form, be transformed to shift your ideas into income, your contacts into contracts, really to grow your ideas, your impact, and your influence. You owe it to you to invest in you. And as a result of it, now you are able to be coached and mentored and be a part of our live trainings with yours truly. Yeah, with me, along with a host of other leaders and trendsetters and trailblazers and accountability partners. No one grows in a silo. The power of mentorship, it takes what I've learned in years and months and I give it to you in minutes. What I've learned in decades and I can give it to you in days. To be a part of our private Facebook group, to get guided feedback through our Eagle's Nest reflections, to get access to all of the content and all the live sessions and the trainings of business development, of financial stewardship, of the impact and empowerment that only takes place when you go right now to the eaglesacademy.com. Again, when you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. But it doesn't just stop there. You want to develop your book? Then guess what? You are an aspiring author. You need to get my bestseller book blueprint. It's available right now. accessidentity.org/author. All of the insight of what it is that I have used to write 18 books and be a best-selling author. You owe it to you to get your hands on that. You also owe it to you to get my Successful Speaker Strategies download. I'm telling you, whatever you're building, you can build it better if you use better words. Let me show you how to develop your communication. There's an art to communication. Let me show you how to develop that. Go right now as well to accessidentity.org/speaker. And then I am blessed to pastor the Remnant Worshipers Church. I want you to be a part of the church that I am pastoring at right now. Is such a great thing of what it is that God has fashioned us to do. And it's taking place right here in the city of Detroit, 10 a.m. every Sunday. 6 p.m. we have prayer on Tuesdays. And then 7 p.m. on those same Tuesdays, we have TNT Tuesdays. Truth and Transformation. It's amazing. You want to be a part of it. Go right now, trwchurch.org. And then I want to see your face in the place this Sunday at 20470 Hubble Street. I'm doing my best to save you a seat. Powerful prayer, praise, and a preach word. Can't wait to see your face in place at the Remnant Worshipers Church.